Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean everything is good. Everything is good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean everything is good. Everything is good. Okay, cool. All right, what's going on? Hope everybody's good. It's Saturday, 7:45 a.m. Not gonna make this super long. It's gonna be pretty quick. I kind of wanted to test out a couple more things with the streams, the live streams, or whatnot. So there'll be. I guess we'll continue into next week. We just kind of have to see what's what. I'm not really going to be overly descriptive on this channel, unfortunately. So this is literally just going to be like like a lot of bare bones stuff. But to just kind of give a quick summary of last week, we'll go up to actually we're just going to go up to the 15-minute. I'm not gonna. Like I said, we're not gonna make this like a whole thing. So this past week, we basically had a previous week that we were looking to see what we were going to take and where. So based on last week, 2 weeks ago, previous week high was set on a Thursday. We actually took that out here on the NQ Future. We took that out this past Wednesday. So just kind of looking back and then forward. Sunday Globex Open, we saw our short, which actually saw us actually on Monday put in the weekly low. Ultimately, we actually pushed higher. We did have news this week. We did have our unemployment and continuing claims. Obviously, the tariff news and tariff talk. We had FOMC minutes that also took place on Wednesday. But nevertheless, if you're looking at it from a weekly profile perspective, depending upon your perspective, we had a Monday, basically a Monday low for the weekly profile, or you could even, again, perspective based, say you had a Wednesday high of the week. And why would Wednesday be the high of the week? Because we had FOMC minutes. Now, it was somewhat understood what that was going to be in terms of pivot, but technically don't want to get into the different summations of ideas and rate cut and all of that, but nonetheless that was something that popped up. The result of that was basically this high, and then the news basically came in at around 2, where they produced the notes, and then you can see this short rally back. But ultimately, what that meant from a weekly profile perspective, and then basically putting in weekly high and low, Wednesday putting in a high, that was a high of the week. Thursday basically saw us move back into this range that had been established, and then Friday basically saw us just kind of range bound. So if you're looking at an idea and what my perspective, I can't speak now. My trade idea going into this upcoming week is basically just for a short-term rally long. I'm not going to get into what this is. Not my place to get into it. It's something that I'm using and continuing to backtest and continuing to refine. So, not trying to jade, not trying to hide, none of that kind of stuff. But something that I'm looking within my fib projections. But I'm looking for a move back long. Obviously, ultimately, you can see, and I have this in a paper trade, not hiding that either. We know we can't hold these overnight, but I do it, again, as I said, testing and back testing. So I have no harm, no shame in showing these types of things. Very modest balance. Nothing extravagant or, overly ridiculous looking. And I name the account what it is, NQ Futures only in USD. So, at present, yeah, we were just sticking and hanging out in this position. Based on the previous week, we are literally in the middle of the range for obvious reasons with Friday closing. My idea is to see if we move back long for a continuation. One of the things that may assist or hinder that is this upcoming week we have CPI and PPI. So we'll have the CPI on Tuesday. I believe PMI is Wednesday, and then obviously you're going to be followed up with our jobless claims and continuing claims. One other thing to note, I will just say, for documentation purposes and for the record, is that an administrative policy was put in place that basically said that federal employees, or there would be an additional federal employee cut that was to commence this past Friday. I will just tell you to do your own due diligence and go look at what the projection for the initial claims and continuing claims is, and make your decision based upon that. Hopefully you're looking at some technicals before you actually look at what could be considered a bit of sentimental data, which might help you either position early or just stay out and let things do what they will show you that they're likely to do. But in light of closing inside of a range on Friday, this is your Friday range, so you may very well just want to do that thing we call sit on your hands until one of these two sides is taken. Now, it is totally possible to see price pop all the way back down. It is also totally possible, based upon what my supposition of what price is going to do, is to see this taken first, right? And then maybe a retracement, or maybe this is taken. There's some level of liquidity that's going to exist short, right? Some sell side liquidity to allow price to resume longs. Don't know. But my outlook for next week is basically a continuation long, because of news, because of CPI, because of PPI, because of unemployment claims. I think that we might get a short resumption long in a rally, but I think ultimately we may remain in this range. I do have my own outside projection of us getting up at least to 23,200, but that is one of those things that remains to be seen. So as of right now, looking for longs, expecting longs, not looking for shorts, but that obviously with the way that data and information is being cataloged and provided to markets, to institutions, and where we're just looking at the technical delivery, it could very well be that what we're anticipating may or may not play out, or what we're anticipating may play out in a longer term and not the short term. But that is as they say, that's where we are. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I told you this was going to be short. Try to keep it short and sweet. I appreciate you guys, and like I said, next week we will, based on my schedule, I won't be around to actually stream CPI or the initial job claims. The only thing we might be able to do is PPI or PMI. I keep calling it PMI on Wednesday. May actually do a tape read session on that. I doubt that I'm going to take a position on that, but I mean, we'll just have to see what plays out by Wednesday. All right. So thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good day.